Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Na datte kasyachit papam na chaiva sukritam vibhu agyane navrutam jnānam tena muhyanti jantavaha. Sri Krishna says, I don't give any sins to anybody and I don't make them suffer for their sins. I don't even give them blessings or happy things for the good they do in the world. I have gone to all pilgrimage places. I have offered all kinds of naivedyam. Whole life I have done so much japas. I have done so much of seva. So Lord should bless me with this, that and everything else. So Sri Krishna says, even for those who do a lot of punyam in their lives, I am not responsible for the good that they experience out of it. For the suffering that one experiences, Krishna says, I am not the one who gives them. Also at the same time he says, even the good things that you experience in life, you may attribute it to Krishna's grace, but I am not the one who gives that. When Krishna is speaking like this, he is speaking from the highest consciousness point of view. That which is Sat Chit, that which is the truth and the awareness. So God, as I said, many definitions are there. One definition that is very correct and is good is satyam, jñānam, anantam. Satyam, it is. Though we don't see with our senses, mind, with all the objects of the world, all instruments of perception, scientific methodology, investigative attitude, whatever we try, we cannot prove it exists through all these things. So how do we know? We know it by experience alone, not by any other means. How do you know you exist? You will say, doctors just now checked my pulse, so heart is beating, therefore I exist. Or how do you know you exist? Just now I saw myself in the mirror, I was still reflecting in the mirror, it means I exist. Or if you still don't believe, what should you do? Ask your friend to give you a slap. It hurts. It means I exist. No, these are all the ways of proving that your body exists. When you go to dream, when you go to deep sleep, who can prove? But you still exist. So that is the asti. The first aspect of the divine self is asti. It exists. That is what is satyam. Sat means that which does not undergo any change. At all times, places, it exists. It will exist, that's why it's called satyam. Asat is that which changes. Today it may be like this, tomorrow it will look like something else. So satyam. Second is jñānam. How is the nature of this truth? Is it like dead, or it is like non-thinking, non-experiential? What kind of truth is that? If you investigate in its nature, the next quality of the truth is jñānam. It is aware, it is conscious. This is prajñānam brahma, it is called. That awareness, the consciousness itself is Brahman. The consciousness with which you experience everything else is Brahman. But consciousness by itself is not going out and experiencing anything. It is there. But because it is there, you are experiencing, your mind is experiencing the world and all the good and the bad that comes out of your actions in the world. And last was anantam. How is it without any end? It means it does not end with your body ending. It does not end with your thinking ending. It was always there, it is there and will continue to be there. So satyam, jñānam, anantam, brahma. Taittiriya Upanishad says this. This is the definition. So based on that definition, Krishna is saying, Na datte kasyachit papam. I am not making anybody suffer for their bad deeds. That's not my job. That you will do undergo the action and the reaction as part of the natural law. I am not interfering with that. So then people will say, yes, God, you don't give us suffering. But what about all the good that you bless us with? Then God says, no, I don't even bless you with the good. I just witness whatever you are doing. If you do good in the world, the results of goodness will come back to you as good experiences. I am not doing anything over there. I am just waiting and watching and seeing what you are doing. And why do we think that God is the one who rewards us or punishes us? Because all the religions have created this kind of God. Punya Papa God or a Narka Swarga God. Why? Because they have to keep the people under control. Otherwise, people who don't have this higher subtle idea of that God is only consciousness, awareness and infinite, they don't understand. Then they will misunderstand. They will think, okay, so God is not going to punish us, no problem, then do whatever we want. No, God will not punish, but your actions will punish you. In so many ways, they will come back and punish you. God is not going to reward you, but your actions will reward you. The good that you do will come back to you in some way or the other. In the great scheme of the universe, this is how the universe operates. Generally, what happens? When something good happens, we say, because I did a lot of good, I did a lot of punyam, I did dana, I did seva, I did puja, archana, therefore I am getting all these benefits. The moment something goes wrong, God is the one who is responsible. Why, God, you are troubling me like this? What have I done to you? I have always done good things. That's the other side of the story that begins. And other people are what? They are very humble. They think all the bad that is happening to me is because of my karmas, I have done it wrong. And all the good that is happening to me is because God is giving me all these good things. So that is the other attitude. The bhukta attitude is what? Bhukta means bhogi attitude. I experience good because of the good that I have done. And I experience difficulty because of this cruel God, merciless, heartless, compassionless God. He is responsible for all my misery. And go and sing songs and break your head in front of God's idol. Why are you torturing me and my children and my family and this and this? Keep telling. That is bhogis, bhukta jivis. Then bhakta jivis are there. Who are bhakta jivis? Who are devotees? They say, no, whatever bad I am experiencing in my life, it is because of some wrong that I have done at some point in time. In fact, God is being compassionate that I am not suffering so much. Devotion to God is like the anesthesia. You are undergoing the problems in life, but then you don't experience the suffering of it. Like, suppose you go to the dentist to pull your teeth out. Tooth pain is one of the worst pains. So, when you go there, if he just takes this instrument and pulls it out like this when you are awake, even in Chandrama people can hear you shouting. But what does this dentist do? He'll take one local anesthesia, he'll give a small injection over here, or whichever methodology he uses, and he will make the whole place numb. So much so that you won't even know that that place exists in your body. And then he will go and extract. Tooth extraction is very difficult. It's so strongly embedded into the skull. Pull that out from the root and replace it with an artificial tooth or whatever. It's very difficult. But then you don't experience any pain because of the anesthesia. So bhakta jivis are like that. What they will say? God has extracted the bad tooth out of my mouth. It's good for me. Otherwise it would have caused infection to me inside, a rotten tooth. Therefore, God is very kind, and also He is so kind because He has put anesthesia and removed it. Actually, God has not done anything. Doctor has done the anesthesia as well as the removal of tooth. But you attribute the painlessness to divine grace. Similarly, when you are bhakta, devotee of God, what happens? Your mind is always absorbed in God. Like Neeraja, who went to take light from Krishna's house and put her finger and forgot about it. Because the devotion to God is like that. What we have to go through difficulties also, we go through it, and because of devotion to God, we don't realize. So if I give an example of when you wear a shoe and walk, and when you don't wear a shoe and walk, what is the difference? The road is the same, the thorns and the stones on the road are the same, road is not going to become better, so life is not going to become anything better than what it is supposed to be. But when you wear a shoe and walk, the stones and thorns don't prick you. Don't hurt you. Then you can walk faster and go wherever. If you don't wear a shoe, then it hurts you. So bhakti to God, the bhakta's attitude in life is the other way around. If any difficulties come, they say, yes, I had to go through these difficulties because this is what my karmas were. But God has been gracious. He gave me bhakti, which is like anesthesia, which is like the shoe that I wear. And though I have to walk on the same path, I am able to walk comfortably. Because of God's grace, because of thinking of God, what I am going to get? Not some boons, not some curses. To avoid some curses and to gain some boon, that is not God's work. That will come any which way because of the actions that you undertake in the world. But all the actions are taken rid of buddhi, sarathi. The sarathi is the buddhi. So when buddhi is a good sarathi, good driver, it will take the chariot on the right path. So knowing God, believing in God and thinking of God, it only helps us to develop good buddhi. When buddhi is good, what happens? We avoid bad deeds, we do good deeds. Because of that, we don't have bad results, we only have good results. So can we attribute that, no, God is the reason why I am having good results and not bad results? No. Your buddhi is the reason why you are having good results or bad results. But that buddhi is functioning in tune with God's mind, mahati ātmani, jñāna ātmani. Therefore you are doing good things. But the moment it is your own personal ego, mind comes into picture and buddhi discrimination stops, then indriya artheshu, that's it. Indriya will run behind indriya arthas and you are done. Then you experience good or bad. Suppose indriyas run behind good things, you will experience some good things. If indriyas run behind bad things, you will experience bad results. So Krishna says, when Krishna is saying like that, what is he saying? He is saying from the ātman point of view. That as ātman, as the consciousness within, my job is not to give you papa, punya. I am not sitting here and calculating things. That Yamaraja's department. He is doing. I don't have to do all this. I simply sit and watch. If somebody comes and seeks buddhi, he is blessed with buddhi. And that buddhi helps him or her to do the right things, take right decisions, do the right things in life. And because of that, they experience the results, as good or bad. So mukta jivis are those who don't go to God for anything. They don't ask God for anything. They don't expect anything. Some difficulties have come, God must come and protect me now. They don't have that expectation. Some good things they do, God must reward me now. They don't think that also. What they do, they are there. They just are aware that God exists and God exists within me. He is the Sakshi Bhuta. And whatever we do, we experience. But when we do something bad and suffer, awareness of God gives us the strength to go through the suffering. If we are not aware, then we'll get into all kinds of blame game, curse everybody, blame everybody, even curse our own selves, get into depression, psychological disorders, all kinds of things. But when we think God exists, no, it is under a great big plan, that Chaitanya Shakti is aware what is going on, and whatever is right will happen. With that faith, we continue. Similarly, when anything good happens, we don't go get excited, call for a party, let's all have a party because I have made so much of money, or I have got getting married, or I am having this new development. All these thoughts also don't come. Okay, that also has come as a result of whatever we are doing. Whatever we are sowing, that is what we will reap. So that is all it is. So if you suffer something, yes, somewhere something that has gone wrong, nevertheless, God's bhakti is giving me the strength to go through it. Something goes right and everything is very nice in life, it does not allow you to become egoistic. You will say, all right, something somewhere has gone right, therefore I am experiencing good things. So in both situations, a mukta jivi is not affected. When very good things happen, his demeanor is normal only. If anything goes wrong also, his demeanor is normal only. He doesn't go up and down swinging like a pendulum this way, that way. So what spirituality helps us with, which helps us with this attitude, this drishtikona, this perspective, that we can take everything as equal. That is why equanimity is spirituality, I say. Where there is equanimity, that is spirituality. Only a spiritual person is capable of remaining equanimous. All other people will swing this way or that way. To great extent they can remain equanimous. But after some time, no. So taking things as it comes and not reacting and letting it pass, spiritual people alone can do this. They may appear to react for the sake of, like Krishna may appear to have gotten angry with Kamsa. But at the end of it, we all know, if we go back to the Puranic story, Kamsa was one of Vishnu's Dwarapalakas who was cursed amongst Jaya Vijaya. Had to be born as a demon. Now why was Jaya Vijaya born as demons, you tell me? Did Vishnu decide that they should be born as demons? No. They were Dwarapalakas. Then what happened? Durvasa came and he is known for his temper. So these people did not allow, saying Mahavishnu is resting and we are not supposed to allow you. Then these people, Durvasa said, no, I have to see him right now. Please go and tell him. Maybe this Jaya Vijaya developed a little arrogance, saying that who are you to command us? We are not listening to anybody. They didn't think Durvasa is a Muni and Brahmin, and when Yama himself runs to receive the Brahmin, Jaya Vijaya should have received him with proper honor. But they did not. Somewhere the arrogance had come, I am very close to Vishnu, I am very close to Narayana, I am his Dwarapalaka. Who are these people to tell me anything? Many times we develop this ego, we are indispensable, nothing can happen to us, we are the best. Like that, Jaya Vijaya would have developed some arrogance. Then what happened? Durvasa cursed them. You are so proud of being so close to Vishnu and not letting anybody see him, you will go away from Vishnu. Then they cry, please don't curse us like this. Then he says, okay, I can't do anything right now. I can only do this much, that I will give you 2 choices. One choice is you will have 7 noble births. And you will be born as noble people on earth. And once you finish your 7 births karmas, you will come back to Vishnu Loka, Vaikuntha. Otherwise, I will give you a choice that you will have 3 bad births. So they say 7 births too much. Tell us a shortcut. Your shortcut is 3 bad births. All right, we will accept that, they say. Then Mahavishnu says, don't worry, you go down, you undergo the karma that you have performed, and I will come and redeem you at some point in time. Because you have to give up the body. So they were the worst of the demons when they came down. Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu was one pair of them. So these two in pairs they came. And they underwent the karmic consequences. Whatever had to happen there had happened. They have to go through that and go. So these Puranas, these stories, and all this is created to bring this sense of discipline in people. The religion has been created that after you die, you will go to hell or heaven, to bring discipline in people. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Otherwise, very difficult to keep children, under control. Keep a society under control. Because all are not capable of these sukshma buddhi to understand the Upanishads and believe that, no, we are ātman and we are not the body and the mind. It's very difficult. General people, 99.999% of the world lives based on fear or greed. Are they afraid of something, so they avoid it? Are they greedy about something, they run towards it. That's why Vivekananda says, man creates things and then either runs towards them or runs away from them. That's all we do in whole hour of our life. So the idea of why I am saying all these things is that the very fact that whatever we undergo in our life, it is to be attributed to our own selves. You can always remain humble by saying it is God's grace. No problem. That is a good attitude. Better than bhukta attitude is a bhakta attitude. But the highest attitude that one can have is the mukta attitude. That it's whatever comes and goes under a great divine plan, whatever I did, it returned to me. That's all it is. Boomerang, they call it. You throw a boomerang, it will go and come back into your own hands. So whatever you do, it comes back to you. That is why I say world is reflection, reaction and resound. What you speak only, you hear back. What you see, it's a reflection of your own mind. You see good in the world if you are a good person. You see bad in the world if you are a bad person. So what you are is reflecting in the world outside. Reflection. And reaction. Whatever you do, a reaction comes back to you. These are the laws of physics. These are also the laws of metaphysics or spiritual laws. What is the first law? Action is equal to reaction. One action will definitely lead to reaction. If you think you have done it, you have to bear the consequences of it. And everything is reflection, I say. Why? As is your mind, so is the Jagat. A pure mind will see goodness everywhere. A very sattvic and Vedantic mind will see God's presence in everything. When the breeze comes, oh, this is also God in that breeze form. When sun rises, this is also God in sun's form. When animals and plants are there, Chaitanya only is roaming around in them. As I said, God sleeps in matter, breathes in plants, moves in animals and thinks in man, Dr. Radhakrishnan said. So they will see God in everything and they will be happy. Whereas a person who is not having godly feeling, oh, these people are evil, that animal is ferocious, this is like that, they'll keep finding faults with everyone, blaming everybody for everything. So those people are all bhuktas. So reflection, reaction and resound. If you speak kindly to somebody, they will also speak to you kindly. So likewise, everything is resound from that point of view. So this is the way world is. God has really very little to do with the world. In fact, nothing except that He is the witness. He is the screen on which all the movie is being played. Now, what is the fault of the screen if the movie is going through a sad scene or a happy scene? It just projects. Mind is the projector. Screen is the ātman. Movie is the thoughts and emotions and experiences of life. That's all it is. And where is the camera? These eyes, ears, nose, everything is camera. They're capturing all the things from the world. And through mind, they're projecting onto the ātman. And all the reflections, reaction, resound is happening on the ātman. Is the ātman becoming sad because of the sad scene? Is the screen becoming happy because of the happy scene? Is the screen getting burned because of fire scene? Is the screen getting wet because of a rainy season scene? None of this happens to the screen. Like that, Krishna says, Nadatte kasyachit papam, nacha eva sukrutam vibho. But ajnanena avrutam jnānam, because their jnana, wisdom has been covered by ajnana, people think I am the reason behind everything. The bad as well as good. I am no reason behind any of these things. I am like the screen. Your eyes, nose, ears are like cameras. And then mind is like the projector. And it projects on the consciousness, which is ātman. And ātman is not touched by all that which goes on through the mind. If you switch off the movie, is the screen become any different from how it was? No. Suppose you go and see a movie, before the movie starts, screen is steady, pure, clean, white. After the movie also, screen is pure, clean, white. But in between, what has happened? So many people have cried on the screen, died on the screen, fought on the screen, laughed on the screen. Celebrations have happened on the screen. Sorrow has happened on the screen. But what is happened to the screen at the end? Nothing. Tomorrow one more movie comes, it will play the other movie also without any problem. So mind is the projector, your senses are the cameras or the objects, and it projects it on the consciousness, which is Atman, because through consciousness only we know everything. The very fact that you know you are alive now, it's not because your mind is listening, or ears are working, eyes are working, or blood pressure is going on, heart is beating. These are all the after effects. These are all the reactions to the original action that your consciousness is in you. That's why I say when Brahman is within you, that's where prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana, everything is happening. You can never think that all this is happening, therefore Brahman is. No. Because Brahman consciousness is within, therefore your body is able to see, touch, hear, taste, smell, breathe, eat. All these functions are happening because the consciousness is there, electricity is there. So this we should never forget. That consciousness is just there. Brahman is just there. He is not wanting you to suffer. He is not wanting you to be happy. He is just He is. But if your mind is pure, your buddhi is sattva buddhi, naturally the way you will behave in the world will be good. And for good things, good results only will come. This is a rule. Then somebody said, Swami, so many good people are there. They are all suffering in the world. They are so poor. They don't have this. They don't have that. How do you know they are suffering? I asked. No, they don't have money. Who said money makes you not suffer? Lot of money, rich people are there. They are also suffering. Who said that? For example, a sannyasi or a monk is there. He has nothing, not even a bank account, not a pocket to keep a rupee. But he is not suffering within himself. He is happy. Others may be suffering that how he is so happy and I am suffering. Others may feel, how can he be so happy? Alexander the Great was the richest, but he was not happy. So we don't know who is really suffering. Outside people put up a show that they are all very happy. Inside we don't know how many people are really suffering. Therefore suffering is nothing to do with your money, wealth, riches. Suffering ends when you know who you truly are. That's the end of all suffering. Because you stop desiring for things. Avidya is not there, kama is not there, karma is not there, karma prabhava is not there. That is when suffering ends. So don't think that anybody else is responsible for your sufferings. They may be instruments, but the person who started the problem is you. And then through other instruments it has only come back to like reflection, reaction, resound. Go and stand in front of Nandi Hill and shout. Nandi Hill will shout back at you. Why? Nandi Hill doesn't have a mouth to shout. You only are shouting, it's coming back to you. Like that what you do in the world comes back to you. And nothing new comes. Same thing comes in different package. But it comes back to you. So remember this principle very, very strongly. Don't blame anybody for anything. Don't credit also anybody for anything. Neither blame is true, nor the credit is also true. Praise is also not true. Then you say, no, we should at least praise God for everything. That is your wish. If that makes you less egoistic, praise God, no problem. But then don't blame God. You'll say, I praised God just now, so I'll also blame God. That is the downfall of it. So therefore, better not praise or blame God. Better not praise or blame others. If at all something you have to experience and accept it is all because of this. Because if you are there, only all this Jagat exists. Suppose you only are not there, where is suffering, where is sorrow, who is mother, who is father? Nobody exists. You exist, so world exists. If you only are not there, somebody said, after I die, what will happen to my children? Who will look after my business? And this and that. I said, if you are not there, why are you bothered? If you only are not there, who is your son and who is your daughter? No, those people whom I am leaving behind. They are not bothered. Why are you bothered? Because you think you are so important. Therefore, you want to make sure all the arrangements, take insurance policies, store up a lot of money, build up houses. But the moment you tie your expectations to things in the world, I have given birth to this fellow, therefore he should look after me. Or I have given something to somebody, a friend, you have done a help to a friend. Now the friend should also help me or listen to whatever I say. Then this build-up happens of emotions, expectations, and that alone leads to suffering. So don't blame anybody for your own suffering. The only person that can be really responsible for whatever you go through in life is you alone, your mind, which has behaved in a certain way. If the mind has been very good and very, very pure, then it will have no expectations from anybody. It will have no desires whatsoever. It will undergo whatever it has to undergo smilingly. Good comes, all right, some good I might have done, it's okay, good, I have got it. Bad comes, some mistake I have done, let me take it. But how do you take it? Take it with equanimity, and equanimity comes from spirituality. When you know there is a greater scheme of things, and therefore in that greater scheme of things everything is happening, then you don't depend too much on others for your happiness, or you don't get sorrow. So that is a very simple and important principle that you must remember. Don't blame anybody for anything. Whatever happens, somewhere we had done something, the result of it we are experiencing now. And what we do now, we are definitely going to experience at some point in time, as long as Deha Bhava is there, that I am the doer. The moment you give it up, doership, you give it up and hand it over to the Chaitanyam, your Jnana Atmani merges into Mahati Atmani, into the Shanta Atmani, then you are not the doer. Then there is nothing that comes to you. You become a Jivan Mukta. So Mukta Jivis are like that, who are totally absorbed in the Shanta Atmani. Mahati Atmani is Bhakta Jivis. They think everything under great God's plan, God is giving me all these, mistakes are mine, blessings are from God. That is that. And Bhukta Jivi, Jnana Atmani. I am doing, I want to do this, I have suffered because, and then they blame everybody around themselves for whatever goes wrong. So this is the attitude of these three different kinds of people. Why I keep coming back to this idea of Jnana Atmani, Mahati Atmani, Shanta Atmani in so many different ways, because that meditation is so important. Yached Vang Manasi Prajnaha Tad Yached Jnanam Atmani Mahatini Yached Tad Yached Shanta Atmani. This meditation is so important. So from which level you are operating in your life? Are you operating only as a Vang Manasi level? Then you are done. If you are Roga Jivi, as I said. If you are operating from the Jnana Atmani level, Bhoga Jivis. If you are operating from Mahati Atmani level, Tyaga Jivis or Bhakta Jivis. And if you are operating from the Shanta Atmani level, you are the Yoga Jivi, you are the Mukta Jivis. Otherwise, you are going to accordingly accrue the results of whatever you are doing. Only at Shanta Atmani level, no results are there. That will, no reaction, reflection, resound. Everything is absorbed in that ultimate wisdom that you are one with Divine Himself. The next step would be, next shloka that yesterday we looked at a shloka that everybody based on their karmas will take births again and again. They may appear in different places, or they may appear as human beings or different yonis of animals. The four kinds of people are there. Garbhaja, those who are born from the garbha, like some animals. Andaja, those who are born through eggs. Then Goja, those who are coming or from the earth. Or Bhuja, that is called, from the Bhumi they are born. Or Shvedaja, who are born in moisture. Means in humidity, like bacteria, viruses and things like that. Microorganisms. In all four possible ways, people are born. And beyond these yonis, sthanu manye anusinyanti, we can even be born as immovable things, not inert necessarily, but immovable. What is immovable? A tree is immovable, and stones and earth is immovable. So from that point of view, that also can be their birth. So sthanu manye anusinyanti. So till your birth and death is there, your yatha karma yatha shrutam, what you have heard and learnt, and how you have practiced those things in your life, based on that you will keep getting births after births. And this won't end. This is one secret more that we have learned from this Upanishad. One secret is that Atma exists, And it is available only to those who want Atma and nothing else. Yamayavesha vrunute, tena labhyo. And how do we attain that? Na avirito duscharitaha, na shantaha, na asamahitaha, na ashantamanasava api prajnanenam. So this particular thing, this prajna, understanding, does not come to who? Who have not stopped doing wrong things. Duscharita. Then mind is not at peace. Why? Because they have too many desires. 3, whose mind is not focused. Asamahitaha. Because they are always scattered. They are good people. They don't have desires, but they are busy all the time. I have to do this seva, after that I have to go there. They are all good desires only, but they are all busy. They can't sit in one place for 2 seconds also. And then, after they achieve all these things, Ashanta Manasa. Why? I must impatience, get moksha immediately. Let me not waste another day. Quickly they want everything. Because of that again they suffer. So prajnanenam apnuyat. This is not possible for all these people to achieve this kind of a prajna, this kind of understanding, because of all these issues. So that was one secret which was revealed to us. So Shreyo Preyo is help us to have good conduct in life. That was the idea of Shreyo Preyo which was told in the earlier chapters. And from there we came into this idea. And this is the other secret, that if you are not like this and you have not realized the truth, then you will be taking birth after birth. And what is the basis on which it will be decided? It will be decided according to your karma and shrutam. Yatha karma, yatha shrutam. So these 2 words should really get embedded in your mind. Yatha karma, yatha shrutam. Whatever I do, hear, learn, based on that only I will be taking births after birth. So if I have taken birth in certain place, I don't have to blame anybody for that. Why I am born in a poor family, why my parents, why this? All this is because you have done something in the past, that's why you landed here. Don't blame God also for it. Similarly, if you are born in a very good family and very noble people, very nice parents and all are spiritual, you don't have to thank anybody for that, including God. You are born because whatever you did in the previous birth, that is how you have come. But if you maintain the attitude of praying and thanking God, it will keep your buddhi pure. That's all it is. For that sake, God is helpful. When a teacher is there in the class, all the students are behaving themselves. If teacher goes out, you know how they are. The moment teachers come back, everybody is silent again. So God's presence in our lives is like the teacher's presence. Just make sure that we are behaving well. If the God is not there in our life, we are atheists, we don't know how we will behave. That's why we don't behave properly. When we don't believe in these higher principles of Svarga, Narka, Punya, Papa. Otherwise we won't behave correctly because our minds are very immature. Na samparaya pratibhati balam, pramadyante vittamohena mudam. They keep making same mistakes over and over again because of desires. Therefore, presence of God is very important in people's life, and that will help us to behave well. That is the first step. Because of behavior, well-behaved person, his results also will be good results. And the mind is more peaceful and calm. Such a calm mind alone is capable of further progressing on spiritual path. Suppose all tapatrayas are there all the time. So what will you practice spirituality? It's not possible. Why? Because your mind is busy solving problems of the day-to-day life. Where is the time to think of God? And all those problems have come because of your bad actions. So presence of God will help you do good actions, because of which you will not make mistakes, because of which you will not suffer, and that's why your mind will be peaceful. And because there is a peaceful mind, Shanta Manasa, Samahita Manasa, Aduscharita Manasa, then you will be able to reach the higher truth, and then this birth and death stops. Therefore, Yatha Karma, Yatha Shrutam. Be very careful about what you are seeing, tasting, hearing, smelling, touching, what you are studying, what you are watching, what you are thinking, what you are meditating upon. All this is your Shrutam. And accordingly, whatever karma, as you undertake activities, based on what you see, you want that. What you tasted, you want to eat that. Like this, the karma. So karma and Shruti, 2 things are there which decides. So this far we have come. Now we will go to the 8th shloka. Ya eshu supteshu jagarati kamam kamam purusho nirmimanaha tadeva shukram tad brahma tad evamruta muchyate tasmin lokaha shritaha sarve tadu na atyeti kaschana etadvai tat. Again, another definition has been taught to us about how that nature of that self is. What is this doing? Ya esha supteshu jagarati. That one, that being. Supteshu jagarati. In the sleeping ones, it is awake. This is not like awake with eyes open, because it doesn't have any eyes. That superconscious being, or whatever Purusha we call it, it is just aware without having eyes, ears, nose. It is awareness. So, eshu supteshu jagrati. This one which is awake in the sleeping ones. Yaru malkonta iddaralli jagrutvagi. That one it is. Jagrati. And what does it do? Kamam purusho nirmimanaha. Different kamam means whatever they desire for. It keeps creating it for them. The experiences of life. They are all created by whom he is saying? That Jagrati, that one who is awake within the sleeping man. Sleeping man does not necessarily mean when you are sleeping in the bed. Sleeping man when you are ignorant. When you are not aware that you are called asleep. So asleep is basically considered as somebody who is not aware of what he is doing, why he is doing, how he is doing. Such a person is as good as asleep. So such a person, in all those, the one who remains awake, the one who is aware. So even when you are in Jagruta Avastha, you are actually sleeping. Why? Because you are not realizing all the truths of life. When you are in Swapna Avastha, you are anyway sleeping and dreaming. When you are Sushupti Avastha, you are already sleeping. But in all these Avasthas, Avasthatraya Viveka they call it. Who is there? Who is awake? Who is aware? That is Turiya, we have learnt about it. That is the consciousness, awareness. Because even after deep sleep, when we wake up, we don't forget our name. We don't forget who we are. It means somebody kept a track record of who we were even when we forgot. In deep sleep, we forgot everything. But somebody kept a track. Somebody knew who lived and who did not live. So that is what I said. These three avasthas are like three sets, disjoint sets. So Jagruta person is not there in Swapna, Swapna person is not there in Sushupti, Sushupti is not there in Jagruti. But there is something which is there all through, which takes care that we don't forget who we are when we wake up. We are not disoriented. See, sometimes when we wake up, is it morning or afternoon we think? Because for a while we have got disoriented. It means we have totally forgotten ourselves. But then after some time, we become aware. No, it is evening only or it is morning only. How did that awareness? Because that awareness remained awake in us even when we were sleeping. Similarly, you think, now I am awake. So two people are awake in me. One, I am awake and that also is awake. No, that alone is awake. You are still sleeping according to scriptures. Why you are still sleeping? Because you think all this is real. That's why you are sleeping, they are saying. What did we learn in Upanishad? Brahman entered and stays in three puris, three places. The Hridaya, the eye and the middle of the brow. Why does he live in these three places? What does it mean? This is what it means. That in Jagruta Avastha we threw to the eyes, in Swapna Avastha we threw to the mind, and in deep sleep we go off to our heart and forget everything. Also it says all the three are dreams only, it says, Aitareya Upanishad says. All the dreams are dreams. I mean, dream is a dream, I understand, correct. Waking is also a dream? Yes. All the world is a dream. So all this is dream only. And then in the deep sleep also it's like a dream. Because dream means what? Which comes and goes. It doesn't stay. So Jagruta Avastha comes and goes. No, Jagruta Avastha stays. How does it stay? When you go to sleep, where is your Jagruta Avastha? It's gone. Therefore it's like a dream. Asat it's called. It's not true. Because it comes and goes. Then Swapna Avastha also comes and goes. Sushupti also comes and goes. All three come and go. Therefore, they are all asat. They are not true, not real. Then who is Sat? The one who stays through all the three and beyond. So that consciousness awareness is you. So that one is awake when you are sleeping. And what does it do? Kamam purusho nirmimanaha. It keeps creating new experiences, new thoughts, new this thing. Now you will say, just now Swami you told, this Purusha doesn't do anything. It keeps watching, and now you are telling it keeps creating new things. No, it appears to have created new things. Like the screen appears to have brought new characters out of itself. How did the heroine come? She came out of the house. Where was the house? It was in the screen. No, it was not in the screen. It appeared to be in the screen. Where did the hero come from? He came from behind the tree, opposite to the house of the heroine. Did he really come out of the tree? And where is the tree? Tree is in the screen. So you'll go and check behind the screen whether the hero is still standing there. No, you are not. So it appears to be. The world is an appearance. That is the whole idea. World is not true. It's an appearance. Like in dream, cities are made, kingdoms are made, and people get married, have children, they travel, they eat, they enjoy. And when you wake up, all the cities are destroyed, kingdom is destroyed, people are destroyed, no children, no grandchildren, nothing. So Jagruta Avastha is like a recurring dream. Swapna Avastha is like a dream. And Sushupta Avastha is like no dream, nothing. So Jagruta Avastha, you will say, no Swami, how can it be dream? I woke up again in the same place, again the same students were there, again the same thing is happening. Yesterday we were in shloka number this, today we are in shloka number. There is a continuity in this. So you think of this as a special dream. Sometimes dreams are also having continuity. You will see the next episode of the dream when you sleep next. Many times it happens. Those who experience, they got a dream of one particular thing. And next time they sleep, again that same thing comes in their dream. As if it is a continuation of their dream. So likewise, only this is a continuous dream. Every time you wake up, the dream takes over from where it has left, like a serial. That's all the difference is what Vedanta believes in. So he says all these experiences seem to be created by that person. Because unless the screen is there, no projection can happen. If I remove the screen, can you project pictures in thin air? You cannot. You can only project to the limit of the screen. If you project anything outside the screen also, those pictures cannot be seen. Only that picture which is hitting the screen alone can be seen. So it says that one creates all the experiences. Why? Because like a screen on which everything is playing. Like that on Turiya Avastha, Jagruta Avastha plays, Sushupti Avastha plays, Swapna Avastha plays, like projections. Then what happens? That one which is seemingly creating all these experiences, what does it do? Tad eva shukram, it remains pure. It doesn't become sad because of sad scene, doesn't become angry because of an angry scene, or doesn't get burned because fire is there in the scene. It remains pure. Tad Brahma, that one is Brahman, it is said. That one which seems to be awake all the time in us and creates all the experiences seemingly. But it remains pure, it remains untouched. That one is Brahman, is a definition. And Tad Eva, that one alone is called as Amrutam Uchyate. That one is immortal. Why? Because dream is mortal, Jagrati is mortal, Sushupti is mortal, but this consciousness behind is immortal. The consciousness doesn't get touched by any of these experiences in the three states. It remains immortal. Like the screen remains there. Movies start, get over. But the screen remains. Next day you come, the screen is still there. In the same way, ātman is always there on which all the experiences are playing, and it remains untouched by the experiences. Amrutam, it remains, whereas experiences disappear after some time. That is why its name is satyam, because it remains, everything else goes away. And what else is there? Another quality is tasmin lokaha shritaha, on which all the lokas are dependent. What is a loka? Loka means an experience. Lokan means to experience something, to perceive something. So all the perceptions are dependent on the screen only. Suppose I call you all. Let us all watch a nice movie. We sit down in the hall. Projector has been put, audio has been put, everything is put. Screen is not there. Can we see the movie? All in air. Likewise, tasmin lokaha ashritaha. On that only all our experiences depend on. If that is not there, we can't experience anything. That's why when that leaves, remember last time he said, when that decides to leave, everything leaves. Not what is kimatra parishishyate? What else is left behind? One piece of flesh and bone. That's all is left behind. Nothing is left behind. Mind also leaves after that. Senses also leave. All your memories also leave. Nothing is left behind once it leaves. Therefore, all the experiences of life are actually dependent on the ātman alone, which though projects everything, it remains untouched. The best example is this screen, movie screen. And one more very beautiful quality says, sarve tadu, all these are dependent on that, but na atyeti kaschana, nobody can or nobody can cross it. Nobody can go beyond it. Very true again, if you project, the picture will come only to the limit of the screen, to the edges of the screen. Beyond the edges, if you project anything, it will go in the air. The experience you cannot have. Suppose your projector is not been adjusted properly. Half the screen is covered, other half is getting projected in the air. then what will happen? You will not see the movie properly. Seeing the movie is totally dependent on the screen. Even if you have a camera, even if you have everything and no screen, no, you can't see the movie. Likewise, on it, all our experiences are dependent because that is within us, that Atmic consciousness, we are experiencing the world, either in Jagrata, Swapna or Sushupti state. And none of these states can transcend it. Like projection cannot transcend the screen. Projection can only happen till the edges of the screen. Likewise, only to the extent of these experiences of the world are real. No experience can cross this also. This is the container in which everything is kept. No content can cross the container. Likewise, this is a universal set. All others are subsets. No subsets can be bigger than the universal set. Likewise, Atman alone permeates and it is everywhere, and all our lives' experiences are all within that Atman's range only. Nothing can cross it or transcend it. All this has been described about Brahman, and says that one who understands this will know that this only is that. Which one? The one which remains awake even when we sleep and brings out new experiences seemingly, and the one which remains untouched because of all these experiences and remains immortal when everything else comes and passes and goes. It remains Amrita, Shukra, untouched and pure, on which all the loka, all our experiences are dependent, and none of the experiences can transcend that. Means it cannot be known through these experiences. Till the movie is on, can you see the screen? You cannot see the screen. Only when you switch off the movie can you see, there is a screen behind. If the movie is running, how much ever effort you put, you cannot see the screen behind the movie. Edge to edge movie is playing, let us say. How can you see the screen? You cannot. Even if you know that screen exists, can you see the screen? No. You will only see the movie, trees, people, dances, music, drama. But you cannot see the screen. Only when you switch off the movie. Now screen is available. Yes. But again, the screen gets covered by the projection and you can't see. So that is the idea of this Atman, on which everything is playing. Your happiness, sorrow, anger, frustrations, excitements, dejections, everything is playing on the screen called Atman through your mind. And how did mind collect all these pictures from? Through all your senses. That is how this world is being experienced by you. And like the no projection can transcend the screen, no experience of life can transcend the Atman. It means these experiences are within the limit of Atman. Atman experience is beyond these experiences. So what you say, I am hearing, smelling, touching, tasting. Am I experiencing Atman? In a way, yes. In a way, no. Yes, because Atman is the screen on which you are seeing everything. So because of the screen only you are seeing the movie. So is the screen available to you? Yes. But are you seeing the screen in its purest form? No. That is why in the world, every experience, pratibodha viditam matam, it says, Kathopanishad. See the Brahman in everything, every experience of life. Why? Because without Brahman, we cannot experience all these things. But by these experiences, are we experiencing Brahman in its purest state? No. In a modified state, we are experiencing Brahman. The black picture is a modified screen. Purest screen is Shantatmani. Nothing is happening in that. Therefore, we have to remember that through senses we cannot understand the Brahman. But even senses are functioning because of Brahman only. Movie is functioning because of screen only. But because of movie we cannot understand the screen. Nevertheless, the one who has sukshmaya, sukshmadarshibhihi, agraya buddhihi, they said, very subtle mind, sharp mind, discriminating mind, the one who has, he will immediately know. If the movie is playing, there has to be a screen behind it. People will say, where is the screen? Where is the screen? You may not be able to see the screen right now, but there is a screen behind because the movie is playing. That is the logic. The very fact that you are alive, awake, breathing, moving, talking, eating, sleeping, getting happy, angry, sad, excited, all these are happening because Brahman is there behind all these things. But Brahman is not getting excited, angry, happy, sad and all these things. When you stop being angry, sad, happy and become pure, it means the movie is off. Your mind is switched off. Then you will see the Brahman. That is why all experience of the life is to master the mind. To stop making it see things and stop making it react to situations. Keep it calm and clean. Then there are no projections happening. When no projection is happening, you can see the screen. You can see Brahman in its purest form. So this is the meaning of that. So see Brahman in every experience of life, but you are not able to see Brahman in the purest self. That much only you should know. When you will see Brahman in its entirety, when all these experiences will stop. When your mind gets merged in the ātman, this nama, rupa business stops. What are projections? Nama and rupas. If nama, rupa stop in the mind, mind becomes blank screen like Brahman. No more projections. So the whole effort of Adhyatma is to calm the mind down.